Good morning and welcome to our daily devotional from Pilgrim Congregational Church. I'm Patrick Horn and welcome you on this Thursday, March 17th, 2022, as we continue our study of Luke chapter 13, verses 1 through 9. And this morning, I would like for us to focus especially on verses 6 through 9 of chapter 13, the Gospel of Luke. This is the story of the unfruitful fig tree. So this is Luke 13, 6 through 9. Then he told this parable. A man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came looking for fruit on it and found none. So he said to the gardener, "See here, for three years I have come looking for fruit on this fig tree, and still I find none. Cut it down. Why should it be wasting the soil?" He replied, "Sir, let it alone for 1 more year until I dig around it and put manure on it. If it bears fruit next year, well and good. But if not, you can cut it down." Well, the story of the unfruitful fig tree is simply a story of judgment and mercy in an agrarian culture, of course, where things were planted in the expectation of fruit or vegetables, or support for food and livelihood. The tree would have been taking up space if it were not producing fruit, and so something else would need to be planted in its place. But the gardener asked the owner for another year to see if the tree will bear fruit in the next year. We are also given, I think, opportunities to bear fruit in our lives each year, each month, each week, each day. And our opportunity is to serve God with our lives, to follow Christ's teachings, to feed the hungry and clothe the naked, to visit the sick and imprisoned, and to welcome the stranger. And I believe Jesus is making the very simple point that we will not be able to do these things after we die. Our lives will become eternal after we die, and only what is good and righteous will live with God. And so this parable is intended to help us to reflect on this fact that we will die and will not have opportunities to serve on earth anymore. And so to encourage us and help us to remember that our time here is short, and to live in compassion and divine love toward others. Let's close with this word of prayer. O God, we thank thee that thy love is so constant and tender that it passeth understanding. A mother's love will sometimes fail even, and our faithlessness sometimes robs us of the love of our friends. Self-knowledge might prevent us from loving ourselves. Yet thy love for us is not conditioned by whether we are worthy, or whether through rebellion or waywardness or despair we continue unfailing and unending. Help us then to fly to thee. We thank thee more that thy love is just when it is merciful. Often we have pleaded earnestly that something might step in between us and the results of our sin, that when we have stooped to meanness or sought the refuge of lies or done some unrighteous deed, all might be forgotten and life flow on as before. We are glad to know that thy justice is wiser than our mercy and thy purpose greater than our prayers. Help us to trust only in that forgiveness which needs not to forget. We thank thee most that thy love is like the light, relentless, unescapable, victorious. Thou wilt not leave us in the darkness, however much we love it. Thou wilt not leave us, thou wilt not let us shield ourselves with ignorance, deception, or pride, but will shine in upon us whatever be revealed. Burn thy way to our souls at whatever pain. Therefore is all our trust in thy mercy and our final refuge in thy love. Amen. Thank you for joining me this morning from Pilgrim Congregational Church. I'm Patrick Horn, and I hope that you have a very good day. Goodbye.